Hey there, everybody. I just wanted to put together a short little video here for all you drummers out there that listen to my podcast or that listen to my music, and especially younger drummers. I'm going to share with you something here. I guess it's kind of a secret that I learned over the years, and it's something I've never shared before with anyone, really. Okay. When I was really, really young, before I started to play drums, I knew that I wanted to play the drums, but I couldn't really afford a drum set. Okay. And, my parents were not really capable of understanding exactly how much this meant to me as a younger person, because they couldn't relate to it at all. So the long and the short of it was that I wound up not being able to really get a drum set for quite a long time. I had to wait to get my first drum set. Now, my parents could only really afford, or were only willing to get me a pair of drumsticks. And while that wasn't quite enough or quite what I had in mind, I did the best with what I had, So I developed this idea of air drumming with my drumsticks to music that I liked. And that was all I had. That was all I could do. I knew the setup of a standard drum set, the hi-hat, snare drum, kick drum, rack toms, cymbals. I understood all that, but I didn't have a physical drum set. So I would kind of use my imagination, a little bit, and turn on the music that I liked, and I would practice drumming or air drumming. And that may sound silly to you, but I really kind of felt compelled to explain this because there are some young drummers out there that might be in the same situation that I was in when I was younger, and you might be looking for options, like what you can do with literally only a pair of drumsticks, or maybe in some cases you have only pencils, something to hold in your hand. But pretty much at this point, a pair of drumsticks is not too far out of reach for a young drummer. So the point I'm trying to make is that I had developed this idea of air drumming, and it was something that I did a lot, and it was actually kind of good, okay, because it was quiet. Nobody would even know I was doing it, because as you know, the drums are a very loud instrument. People are usually not patient enough to sit through your practicing in the house. It drives people crazy. So when I was doing this air drum thing, it was really quiet. Nobody knew. And I could listen to the music that I liked. And rather than being focused on, hitting your snare drum a certain way and being concerned about that, really, it was an opportunity for me to kind of push all of that away and focus really on the music, what it did, how it made me feel, what I liked, what I didn't like, that kind of thing. And that may sound like a really arbitrary or, simple or even stupid idea, but it's not, okay? Trust me, it's not. I mean, I'm 52 years old now, and I've been drumming since I was about 5 years old. Okay, I knew what I wanted to do. I had chosen my path, and you may be in that same situation. How unfortunate, right? To be a younger person who's not old enough to work yet and save up money and get a drum set. I mean, really do it. And if your parents aren't on board with that, you're going to be waiting for a long time. Eventually, as I got older, I got a real drum set. I got exactly what I wanted. I was a working drummer. I played all the time, playing in a band on the road. I had the drum set of my dreams. I was a working drummer. I was doing it all the time. I would still, in my private time, practice, air drumming. Like I would do that. And I realized, later on in my life, because I had continued to do that practice, that form of practice, okay, not actually hitting drums, but like listening to music and playing invisible drums to this music, it wound up benefiting me in a lot of different ways. It kept me strong. It gave me stamina. And, a lot of people don't really understand how much physical stamina you need, okay, to get from the opening song to the closing song, okay, and a maybe hour-long set list without losing any energy and keeping a consistent level of strength and intensity throughout the set. Yes, band practice helped. Yes, it was good to be actually sitting behind a drum set, playing with the band, doing all those things. That's true. But also devote time to air drumming, and it kept me strong. It gave me stamina. I could get through drumming anything, any length of time, and have strength and energy. But also, too, it taught me how to really listen. It taught me how to feel music, because drumming, at least in my best understanding, is really kind of like a form of dancing. Your legs and your feet are moving different than your hands and your arms, and you're doing it in time. You have to be on time. You have to be tight. And the tighter you are, the better you're going to be in a band situation. And having that opportunity to just listen to the music and feel it in your core, your body clock. You can feel it. And so I wanted to bring it up and talk about that, because a while ago I started to make drum videos of me drumming, okay? And I had the idea to do that. And I noticed that once I started to kind of look into it, like on YouTube, like how many other people had that same idea as me, it was important to me to come up with an idea for a drum video that nobody else had done. Can I think of a way to do it differently? That kind of idea is important to me and always has been. So I decided that I was going to make my own drum videos. At first, I did it the traditional way, me behind a drum set. But later on, I had the idea or the inspiration to share this very private ritual, really, that I would do by myself. And so the videos that we're watching here, okay, that you see me drumming in, okay, to some it may be obvious, to some it may not be, but I'm not playing a drum set in these videos. In this video you're watching right here, I'm not playing on a drum set. I'm air drumming to this music, and I called it Mike Bostwick Drum Practice because I do actually do this still. I mean, I do it as a form of practice. Here in these videos that I had shared a while back on my YouTube channel, I wanted to explain that to people. And you'll notice that at the end of the videos, I'll hold up the two drumsticks to the camera to show you that all you're watching me do is play drums with just this pair of drumsticks. There is no drum set. Is it a big deal? No, to some it's probably not. But that kind of thing, it was really something I thought that I'd never really seen in a video before, especially a drum practice or a drum video. Even if you have a really great drum set, even if you've been drumming for a long time, this practice of air drumming will benefit you in ways that you can't even really imagine. And that's really all I wanted to say. I felt that it was worth an explanation. You know, it's pretty weird, I understand, but I don't care about that. You know, drum practice and, practicing an instrument doesn't necessarily have to always be sitting behind that instrument and playing. So I'm not going to talk too much more about it. Good luck to you. Work hard, play hard, and I'll see you in the funny papers.